Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. I feel like I miss you guys so freaking much. Where have you guys been? I I've been pretty busy and I feel like I haven't uploaded in such a long time. It's literally been like barely a couple weeks. But I miss you guys so much. So yeah, I miss you guys. As you just saw, I did a writing session. I was able to get a little bit over like just basically 500 words, which is pretty good. I've been working on Project CY, which I'm going to talk about more in today's video. However, in today's video, I'm going to be doing a big Q&A, a big update because I haven't really talked to you guys in a little bit. And I'm very, very excited just to kind of also answer some really big questions, such juicy, interesting, cool questions you guys asked me on my YouTube community tab. So first I'm going to be going through some updates and then I'm going to go through the Q&As. Before I get on, make sure you guys support me if you guys want on my Instagram _AnnaNew. I post there so much and I literally love my Instagram. I've been trying really hard to make it aesthetic and cool and inspirational for you guys. So please support me and follow me if you do have an Instagram. And also, if you want to have some digital and physical writing products, I literally make them for you guys. Go check out my website, annanew.com. And literally your support means the world. So thank you all who have bought some of my products in the last couple months. Literally helps so much. So thank you. Let's go ahead and get on to the updates first. Let's go. Alrighty, so some of the updates I have, just general updates. Hi. Oh my gosh. I am currently in my mid-semester right now. If you're new to my channel, again, hello. I'm studying both law and also international relations and government. I'm in my 4th year, so it's getting a little bit stressful just coming up to the end of my degree because I have one more year after this year. So still through the trenches, but hey, we are getting there. So literally the last week, I had 4 assignments due in the 1 week, and that was actually hectic. I don't even know how the heck I was able to even do that, but I did it. So that week I literally could not write, I could not film. It was just go, go, go every single day. And I've just been super busy, not only with going to my classes, but I've also started to do an internship. That's every single Monday. So that's, you know, one whole day basically gone. Then I've been volunteering as well at my legal clinic that I usually do. It's like a community legal center. That's like basically every Thursday. And I also have been volunteering at my church for kids' church, which I literally love so much. If you guys don't know, I'm Christian and literally it's the most rewarding thing ever. I love my church. So even though it's really fun, it's been taking up a lot of my time and hence a lot of my writing, YouTube time. So I'm just trying to reconfigure my schedule right now. And I think I just gotta literally take it week by week. So bear with me in the next couple months or so because my uploading schedule might be a little bit crazy. And even though I've been really busy, I've been loving it. So like, it's not like I've been like, oh my gosh, like I actually love being busy and like involving myself. I don't know, it's been fun. So I actually do like all the busyness sometimes, although sometimes it of course gets stressful. So just trying to lean on God and try my best to just rest when I can. Another update, however, is over there. Literally in one of my recent Instagram posts, I talked about how I got a new typewriter. Let me show you guys. It is my granddad's, but he gave it to me. I literally just begged him for it essentially. But I love that thing. I literally write on it every single day, my to-do lists. I have one on yellow paper right now. This is my to-do list today. And I literally love using typewriters. There's just something about it that's just so romantic and so nice and therapeutic. And I feel always so productive when I'm using it. So I've been loving my typewriter so much. But I do also hope to do a video on my typewriter, maybe somehow writing a short story, writing poetry for a day or something on it. So if you guys want to see that, let me know. That's another update. The last update, which is probably the most important one, is like my projects. What am I working on? Literally, a lot of you guys ask me like, what am I doing? What am I writing right now? And the truth is I don't know myself. It's it's up in the air. I mean, honestly, I think I've been mostly working on Project CY, which stands for Carry You, Project Carry You. It's a high fantasy that has angels, and it's kind of like, I kind of picture it as Arthurian mythology that meets like angelic mythology and very biblical sort of mythology. I am loving it. I've literally written 20,000 words at the moment. I'm hoping to try to consistently get into this project. I was able to write quite consistently for a week or so, and then I kind of got roadblocked by that crazy week of assignments. So I'm like trying again this week. And it's been really, really good. I've been loving this project so, so much. I love the characters, especially. They speak to me so much. And there's just something about a journey, high fantasy story where there's magic and dragons and, you know, these mythical creatures and these very loved characters that I adore. Like Arthur as a character, archetype, whatever he is, like I adore characters that are like Arthur or Arthur period. So that's been really, really cool. And I've also been brainstorming a lot of Project Ghost Zombie, which is a paranormal project that I did a video on recently. Yeah, I just did a video where I was brainstorming the project with you guys, which was so, so fun. Go check out that video if you guys haven't seen that. And just reminds me of my ghost side, like my ghost side roots. I just love paranormal stories, even though I'm not very, I mean, I like paranormal stuff, but like being as a Christian, it's like kind of crazy that I'm interested in that spiritual side. And although like Christianity definitely is very spiritual, and like if you believe in angels, you believe in devils as well. It's like so interesting to see my, not attachment, but my interest in writing and stuff like that. But if you guys don't know too much about the project, a little crash course or pitch, I've been kind of thinking about it as Twilight, but instead of werewolves and vampires, it's zombie and ghosts. So they both exist and they're both like arch nemesis. So it's like really cool. And there's also like a mortal girl in the middle of it. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. My current struggles though, as like a writer, it's difficult to find time to write. And I don't know, I'm in this weird limbo stage since you guys know what happened with Project BB and just like me finishing that book. I haven't been in a writing slump per se. I've just been a bit confused of like what my goals are as a writer. I don't really know what I'm doing anymore. I feel like I need to get another draft done. I just need that sort of confidence boost to go back into Project BB, because I have had the plan to try to traditionally publish and query that story. So I've been getting some beta readers to read it. Well, not beta readers really, just like a couple friends. So they're working their way through that. That includes Tiana. I love Tiana so much. And also a uni friend and maybe my cousin. I don't know if she's actually reading my book. She's reading like Fearless, I think, at the moment, which is quite similar to the vibe of Project BB. So I'm like, just read my book, please. Anyways, I also feel like my writing has been a bit clunky recently. I think it's because I haven't been reading as much. I am trying to read Les Mis at the moment, actually. That's maybe another big update. If you guys don't know Les Mis, it's like a huge book. Victor Hugo loves to write. It's like 1,000 pages, but I'm loving it so, so much. So I think if I just continue reading and hopefully that will just, yeah, help with that. But I've been writing lots of poetry actually, which has been good. If you guys want to check out my poetry, go on my Instagram _AnnaNew. That would mean the world. I overshare too much in my poetry, but I love it. It's fun. It's fun. So yeah, even though my writing's been a little bit weird, I'm kind of in a weird place, I've been trying my best to write consistently in this project. So vlogs are going to come for Project CY for sure. And I'm very excited to talk more about it and more about the magic system and the journey and like what the book's about. So stay tuned for that. For now, maybe I'll give a little Pinterest page. Here's Project CY, the main project I'm working on. I've decided, because I've been quite all in my brain about it. But yeah, dragons still exist in the world. They're angels, demi-angels, and like, yeah, different biblical mythology type creatures like the Leviathan, who's actually like a huge like siren chick who's like a mermaid goddess thing. It's like really cool. But I'm very excited for that project. Anyways, that's the updates. Let's go ahead and get on to the questions. There are so many questions I've screenshotted. Oop. So let's go ahead and get into them. So let's get to the Q&A. Okay. Are you guys ready for these crazy, crazy questions? I totally am. The first question is from Joy. Thank you, Joy, for asking me a question. It says, in an ideal world, what would your writing career look like? Wow, 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 wow. That is very interesting. In an ideal world, look, it's so difficult for me to understand what I want. I do want to be an author. I know that. I think that would be so fun if I could travel and do YouTube all the time. In an ideal world, I would be a hybrid author. I would be publishing traditionally for my fantasy novels and then self-publishing for my more smaller works like my novellas, like my Ghost Side. I see like Project Prison, Ghost Side, like Project Orchestra being kind of self-published. Hopefully it'll be so good, and I'll be doing book tours. I'll probably be living in the UK or Europe or somewhere. I'd love to be living in the Netherlands specifically because I went on exchange there last year and I just loved it. It's so beautiful, so many cute coffee places, you know, such history, such rich culture. I would love to like learn the language while I'm there as well. I would want to write like maybe 2 books a year. I feel like that could be crazy. That could be cool. And I would kind of do it while I'm doing YouTube, I feel. I think to begin with, like while I'm graduating eventually, like in the next couple years, I will be having to write stories while doing YouTube, which is my side hustle where I can earn a little bit. While I'm also doing law, I think that's probably what is gonna happen. And it's gonna be really, really hard. Like if I find it hard to study full time while I'm pursuing writing and content creation, just imagine like a full-time 9 to 5 while doing like my postal training. Crazy to think about. But in an ideal world, I would skip that and just go straight into publishing and just being a published author and content creator. That'll be so freaking fun. And I can just travel the world whenever I want and meet all my writing besties all the time. So thanks, Joy. That's a cute little question. Another writer asked, what do you usually do first when you brainstorm ideas? Is it outfits, characters, world building, aesthetics? I love how outfits is one of the options. When I first brainstorm ideas, I mean, I did that through that Ghost Zombie video. You saw like my whole process. So I think the main thing I do is just go on a Pinterest page and start writing stuff about the characters, the places, the vibes of the story. What I first like to do as well is to set out the name of the project, the genre, the word count, the vibes, the themes. Those sorts of things help structure my brainstorming a little bit and help me get some direction. So those things help, but of course, Pinterest is the main go. Pinterest and also playlist. 2 P words. Another writer asked, how in the world do you not edit while writing? I've tried, believe me, but every time I end up going back to edit what I wrote. Honestly, this question I really, really love because the truth is that I kind of laggingly write. I don't know how to describe it. I don't specifically edit as I go in terms of I write a sentence and I rewrite it till it's fine. Usually I actually write a chapter or a scene in most cases and I go over it. And usually I go over it in my next writing session. So since I don't really have time to write like consistently where I'm always in the project, I find that I actually reread what I wrote my last writing session and do some little editing and just kind of make it feel more better. And of course, this is in my first draft. And I actually did this a lot with this project, Project CY. I haven't been doing it too well because I'm now like in the ropes of the plot. So it makes more sense to kind of just go with the momentum. But I for sure don't think there's anything wrong with editing as you write, just as long as you write something, at least this works for me, and then edit after you've written it, if that makes sense. So don't write specifically as you go, like every single word. But if you just write it out a scene, just help it flow, help it, get there. It's fine to edit a little bit as you go, but I recommend to edit, as soon as you finish the scene when you're fresh, or even just after your writing session. That way you can actually make stronger first drafts. A preconception that I really don't agree with is that first drafts have to suck and first drafts always suck. It's like, no, you can have a really strong draft if you are able to take more time with it. And I think taking more time with it includes being more specific, being more intentional with what you write, and of course, editing to a small extent. Of course, you're not going to do a full-blown edit, but when it comes to line level stuff, it's important to know what your project, like how your project feels. Like, it's important to get that momentum and specifically the confidence to continue writing your story. If you think what you wrote sucks, like in chapter 2, and you're still going it and still thinking about chapter 2, you got to go back, girl. You got to go back. And that's exactly what happened in Project BB. I just went back and edited until I got up to this point where I was writing. It just felt laggy. The pace wasn't right. So I wanted to go back, and you just got to go back sometimes. Like, that's fine. So that's my answer to the question. They also asked, what's your number one pet peeve about writing? Maybe not saving my freaking work. I'm going to not stop talking about Project Prison, which I think about all the time. Like, I kid you not, every couple of days I think about this project and the fact that I lost like around 50, I think it was like 40,000 or something words of the zero draft. Yeah. I had a lot of questions about getting out of your writing slump and how to kind of get back into the mood of writing. So I'm going to answer all those questions in this one little answer. Watching AuthorTube actually helps me get out of a writing slump because it just makes me passionate, because I see people pursuing their dreams and it's like, well, it can be fun. It can be cool. Writing poetry also works for me. It's a sort of little trigger, if that makes sense. A sort of like warm up, like kind of striking the match of my inspiration of writing, because writing poetry is being a writer as well. So I feel like that helps a lot. Reading will probably help you, or just exposure to like any sort of storytelling media. That always inspires me. And perhaps even, this is what I've been trying. I haven't been more so in a writing slump. It's just I haven't been finding time to write, but maybe this will work, of making a like a writing log, like in Excel. You can also use Trackbear. I think that also works, but I think that's too competitive. I don't want to see what other people are writing and what I'm not. So I have my own personal Excel spreadsheet, and I'm actually able to calculate it. So I get to see the month total, the week total. And I've just been trying it every week or so to see if it helps. And it has been helping a little bit. Motivate me write like every day, because I don't want to skip one. So maybe that helps with motivation. I hope some of those tips helped. Another writer asked, what apps do you use to focus on writing? You just saw me use Focus. I think Focus helps a lot with just writing sessions, so you're able to get those done. I just use Word usually to write my stories for now. Pinterest, I use like the devil. I love Pinterest. And actually writing physically has been helping. I guess it's like a writing tool. This is actually my journal, but in the back of it, you wouldn't know. I also have, oh my gosh, look, I literally have my dream. And look, there's like published books. This is my dream thing I have in the back of my little thing. But literally all of these notes are from Project BB. Like, I'm not kidding. But physically kind of doing that really helps me. Especially also Save the Cat writes a novel. I guess that's a writing tool as well. But that's what I actually do when I'm starting to write a novel, is I actually check kind of my structure with Save the Cat to help me kind of really get my grip on my project and exactly what happens in it. This question literally cut me in the heart. Like, you know me. It says, how do you balance the tension between writing for yourself and creativity and trying to appeal to an audience and being published? Holy smokes. Yeah, I struggle with it a lot. I think sometimes it intersects, sometimes it doesn't. There's a bit more pressure, and that's exactly, for example, why Project BB, I did a documentary instead of telling you guys all about the project and having like monthly or weekly vlogs. I found it really good to kind of take a step back from you guys, even though I love you all so much. Like, just take a step back from YouTube and having the pressure on a particular project. So I can just really love it and nurture it and adore it in its own way. And I think I'm just kind of realizing my own autonomy and knowing that I struggle with it, and kind of recognizing that. I think it's most evident in Ghost Side, a book that you guys really love and really want to see. I love the project so much and I think about it like literally every day, but I'm just still struggling about like whether or not I should publish it, and whether or not I want to, or if that's just like what you guys want and what I should, like, ought to do, just because I've talked about it and promised almost to publish it, which I have. I've kind of said I'm going to self-publish this book, and I'm like, I don't know. So I'm a bit more tentative. I think tentative is maybe the word, of making promises, or just like outright, like, I will work on this project, I will publish it. It stresses me out. So please know that if I say something, take it with a grain of salt, because I, as a busy student, like, I really don't know what I'm doing, even with my life in general, because I am only 20. So I don't know. I don't know. But something that really helps me in like trying to diffuse that tension is just realizing that writing is a lifetime gig. Like, it's a life, like, you're signing up for the lifetime. And I think that's really comforting, because it's like, well, like, I don't have to publish a book right now. I can publish when I'm 30 or 40. Like, it doesn't really matter. I still got years to hone my craft and decide and realize who I am and what I want to put out in the world, because I think that's a really brave thing to do. And the last thing I want to do is rush it, which I see lots of young writers do. And although not saying that it's the wrong thing to do, but I just think with me, I want to be certain of what messages I'm putting out in the world. And that's why with Ghostside, although it's a really lovely story, a really beautiful, like, literary, I was gonna say masterpiece. I'm not that good, Anna. But it's just like that sort of story that reminds me of like the vibes you get from like Good Will Hunting. You know that movie? It's like so good, so good. Not that I'm comparing it, but it's like that sort of like little tendril of a vibe, of a feeling, which I'm so connected to. But again, the themes in the story is so deep, and there's also another question that, like, literally I thought was so interesting. Maybe I'll answer it and address it now, but it's like, how much of your stories are kind of like an autobiography? Which is, whoa, like, whoa, such a good question. But it's like, yeah, I feel like Ghostside is my heart on a platter. Like, it's so much of me, and that's what scares me. And the messages, it's so nuanced and complex. Like, I don't even know if it's a message. And that's why I do believe in, literature or media just being there for people to interpret, and things not needing a clear-cut message. It's just a story, and that's how I feel with Ghostside. And I've just been a little bit confused about what I want to tell with it, if I should tell, if it needs to be, there needs to be a message, and if I'm comfortable with sharing that with the world. And even just recently, I posted a poem, and it was like 5 more slides. It was 5 more slides of stuff. And I was going to post it because, like, okay, I'm just going to post this. Like, this is a nice poem. I just wrote it on the whim. But I stopped myself and was like, this is really sensitive stuff. Like, what I've just written, like, that is part of my heart. And I'm so eagerly gonna just almost ignorantly share it. And I feel like that's not a good thing. And sometimes in the past, I have shared poetry and actually taken it down because it shows too much of myself, and that vulnerability really scares me. Not that it, like, I don't trust you guys or I don't want it to be out in the world, but more so it's like, it's good to also keep yourself secret and keep projects close to your heart. Like, you can make stories that are just meant for you and your close friends. It doesn't need all these eyes on it. So that's something I've been struggling with. But yeah, a lot of my projects are very closely, and I reinterpret all the time. And I see even Project BB, like, the clear cut reflection of my life. It's like crazy, although it's disguised in like these amazing characters and this crazy world with magic. Like, no, it's a clear cut description of my life, which is scary and interesting to just see how like art works that way. So I don't think I can ever get away from it. I think all my works will always reflect some part of my soul, but the most vulnerable stories, I think it's a little bit more difficult to mask, just like with Ghostside. So I'm still deciding with Ghostside. I have a lot of questions also about Ghostside. Thank you so much. That means the world. I don't know yet. Okay, so I don't know. I don't even know what to say. But okay, that's the end of the question. Okay, another question that I got, which I love, is out of all your unwritten book ideas, which one calls to you the most? Do you ever think you'll write this project? And yes, although technically I have written it, it is Project Prison. I alluded to it before. Project Prison, I wrote the zero draft for it, so it's kind of the story in short sentences. So technically I have written it, but not in its full form. So I don't really count that as a real true draft. Therefore, I can use that to answer this question. Project Prison, for some reason, it has a grapple on my heart. I just can't describe it. I did share one, like a couple lines from the project in a recent Instagram post, and you guys really liked that post. But I'll share it here maybe if I remember to put it in post. But I love this project so much. I literally think about it every day. It's a sort of devastating, like, slice of someone's life that I just really, for some reason, am drawn to. And maybe it's also because I've lost this project through deleting it somehow that I find it more even like precious to me. It's a sort of project that I didn't even know I had in my bounds to write. It's so depressing, but also like it deals with so much hurt and so much confusion. And it's also just a really cool story. Like it's something that I was surprised that the plot came together. It's that sort of book, you know, that you just think about from time to time. If you guys don't know too much about the project, I can read you a synopsis actually, because I have it on my Instagram. The sort of tagline is fate doesn't call upon criminals. The imprisoned must make their own luck. The pitch goes like this. Kyo has been in a 1980s boy juvenile center for 2 years, confined to his own cell, where the walls have no telling of what he has done. In the midst of his time at juvie, he hears news of his adoptive brother being murdered. His hands itch to escape to find the man who did it. That is until a mysterious new mate is assigned to his bunk with him. This creature is a timid thing and doesn't speak. It's clear to Kyo that they haven't been in a place like this before. Eventually, he takes them under his wing, and after earning their trust, Kyo makes 2 discoveries. His cellmate also doesn't know why they're imprisoned, and his cellmate is a girl. Oh my god. Literally, one of my favorite characters I've ever written about is definitely Jody from this story. Man, this book has so many scenes that I remember so much, and yet I'm so scared to like write it again because I know that I'm gonna miss so much of the first draft. But I think I do remember most about it and all these different feelings. And I know like the general plot and how it works. But the little things and like the specific plot points of like how this goes there, blah blah, is something that just is so tedious. So it would be great if I had the draft to work upon. But of course I don't. So that scares me a little bit. But I also just love this project. I love the characters. It speaks to me so much somehow. And I love it so much. I don't know how to describe it. Okay, but that's the project. Another person asked, what is your favorite character quote from one of your books? And I know this off by heart. It's actually from Project Orchestra, a historical fiction novel I have written a zero draft for. Alexander Lawler, he is a conductor at the London Institute of Music. And he has a complex about him, which I really find interesting. He is a sad little thing. But Lewis, who's sort of a foil sort of character, basically thinks about Alex as an angel. And Alexander says, and I quote, if I am an angel, then I have fallen so deeply that my wings have forsaken me. And just knowing the context of the book makes me feel stuff. So that's my favorite quote from my books or my works. Somebody asked, is there anything you want to change or improve in your writing? And what would that be? I really love my prose, but I think I can definitely get better. Very specific. I really adore Rachel Wright's writing, and I look up to it so much because it's just so specific and niche. And I want to have that sort of that genuine approach to prose where it's so interpretive and specific. For example, like maybe you think about this as well, but this is kind of like a little ounce of what I think I want to write like. And it's like describing rain as the smell of ants, like that sort of specific description. I really am drawn it to. I know Joy just uploaded a video about prose, so I'm so excited to watch that and learn. But yeah, I just want to also write poetry a little bit better, a little bit more with some flair and confidence and specific specificity specific no specificness. That's a word now, by the way. So yeah. Oh, somebody asked, how do you create book characters that feel real and not copy paste? Literally just use your own quirks and stuff. Or just look up quirks and, you know, those sorts of things. Those sort of personality traits to me really stand out. It makes the character different. There was something I was thinking about that I really wanted a character to kind of adopt that I do all the time. Oh yeah, it was. I do this thing all the time where I make knots in my hair. That seems like the weirdest thing. But I like do this, like this is exactly what I do. Like while I'm in class, while I'm studying, while I'm reading, watching something, I just twirl my hair like this and then make a little knot and like basically make myself get split ends because I kind of like let it go to the bottom and kind of rip it off. Sometimes, not all the time, but like sometimes it's by accident. Anyways, I'm like, I want a character who makes knots with her hair, like really long knots, because I do this all the time. So literally just think about things that you do and kind of inject yourself into these characters, or just make up new quirks. I made up a quirk with Red. I do have a lot of characters starting with an R. With Red, where when she has panic attacks, she kind of sees herself from like the third POV, like bird's eye view, which I thought was an interesting kind of sad quirk. But that I don't experience that, but you know, that's something that she does. So just kind of imagining things, if that makes sense. And this is kind of unrelated, but I've been thinking about this a lot. Somebody asked me, I think he asked me like, how do you write, you know, things even though you're so young? And it's like, to some extent, it's like, yeah, you write from your experiences, but you also can imagine, like, people have imaginations. You know what I mean? So there's some things that don't happen to you, but you have these thoughts. It's kind of like people, like I think about Conan Gray, for example, who he's never really had a real relationship. I don't know if he has yet, but at least in the start of his career, he never had a relationship. And yet he wrote like heartbreaking love songs about him being in love and him, which he's never been in love before. So it's like, it's so true. Like we're so delusional that we can have like feelings that aren't even us. It's like we have split personalities. Now the question is, what do you write when you're busy with uni or other stuff? And the simple question is poetry. I literally, I was posting my story yesterday because I was at my internship and I was literally just writing poetry on the side of like my work, just because I need to pretend to look busy. But also because I was being sneaky and had a little break. So that's just what I do. I just write poetry because it's simple, it's easy, and you can just really, because usually when I'm like busy, I get really stressed and I'm always thinking about something or wanting to be somewhere else. That creates a lot of space, holds a lot of space for inspiration and for writing poetry potential. So that's what I do when I'm busy. Usually just write poetry. Somebody asked a really interesting question. That was literally, what is a character of yours that you hate the most? Which I think is iconic. I don't know, sometimes I hate and love him. Honestly, Ned from Ghost Side. I love him, but I also hate him. But I love him, but I hate him. But maybe a more valid character. Like, I don't know, I don't really hate villains. Even the villain from Project BB, who's the king, I guess, he's not that. I mean, he is evil. He does evil stuff, but like, I don't hate him for it. It's just like who he is. It's difficult because I don't hate people. Maybe it's me just like as a Christian as well. I just don't like hating people. And like hating my own characters is like, well, I made them and I made them how they are. So how can I hate them for it? Wow, that goes deep. That goes deep. But yeah, I can't really think about any characters I specifically hate. It's more like a hate love sort of relationship, I think. But a really interesting question. I'll set back to you. Oh, somebody asked another like foreseeable question that's like, if you could see where you'll be at 30 years old, what do you hope to see? And I think these questions are so interesting. I wonder if I'm going to be 30 and looking back at this video and be like, But if I'm 30, I would like to be published. I would like to have my own house or apartment. I would like to be living overseas, or at least have lived overseas. Have loved, I was gonna say. And I would like to have a husband and a few kids. Yeah, that's kind of embarrassing. It's actually kind of embarrassing now to want to get married. Is that embarrassing? No, it's not. I'm just a hopeless romantic. And you'll see that in my latest poetry post. But yeah, I'd like to have all those things. And they also asked, if you were a flower, what kind of flower would you be? It's such a pretty little question. I would like to think I would be a peace lily. My mom had named like all of the children. I kind of have four siblings. So we all have like a flower, like one's a rose, one's I think a wildflower, one's a sunflower, one's a jacaranda tree, and I am a peace lily. My mom always said that I would be doing some sort of law, I'd be somehow like making peace between people, you know, being some sort of reconciliation between states or something crazy like that. And it's literally what I'm studying, which is quite interesting. But I think what my mom names me is what I'll be. So the last question is, do you have a Substack? And no, I don't, but I do have a website. Go check out my products. Thanking you. But no, I do post. I used to post a lot of blogs on my. I maybe will start doing that a little bit more, or just making a goal to make maybe one blog post a month because it is a lot of writing to do. But I do have some blog posts on there right now, annanew.com. Go check out my blog site on that website. It's just like another page on the website. But I also have recently posted a short story, which is really exciting. And I am working on that other short story that I did a collab with Millinote for. So stay tuned for that. I might post that also on my website. But yeah, go check out my recent little short story that I actually wrote in Korea. But go check that out. I really do love this short story. I think it has lots of character to it. And it's actually set in Australia. So it's just so nice to write a book set in your own country. I don't know. Well, not a book, obviously, a short story. But this is the blurb. It says, a fledgling playwright struggles to find his lead actress as he nears the play's showcase, which can define his theatre career. On the eve of the performance, fate intervenes as he sees his childhood friend and Neil lover, whom once matched his passion for the arts during their days at film school. Driven by a sudden conviction, he becomes set that it has to be her to play the lead role. But convincing her to return to the stage will not only mean rekindling a dormant talent she's sworn off forever, but also confronting a shared past which was never fully resolved. I love it. The characters I imagine as like young Ben Affleck and Natalie Portman. Oh, wow. Anyways, everyone, thank you so much for listening into this long Q&A. Thank you for getting to the end of the video. That means a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to my ramblings and my updates on my various life projects and just life in general. I love you guys so, so much. Stay tuned for more vlogs on Project CY and also updates just generally on my Instagram, _Anu. Please go follow me. Go follow me, please. That would mean the world. And definitely go check out my Substack, which is actually just my website, annanew.com, because that support means the freaking world. But I love you all so, so much. Stay safe and keep writing. Okay. Bye, everyone.